You know, I said I wasn't going to get into all the drama. Oh, yeah. Is this a different album? Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucen. I'm a singer, songwriter, music producer, and I'm a podcaster. Yay, check out my podcast. It's called Criminally Underrated, link in the description. Anyway, and today I am here to react to Eternal Sunshine, the brand new album by ARIANA Grande. Let's go. Cool. So I have like a mixed relationship with Ariana's music. Some of her stuff I adore. Like, I'm a big fan of like the Sweetener, Thank You Next era, and there's a bunch of earlier songs that I really like as well. So I'm interested in kind of seeing where she's going to go with this next era. I really enjoyed Yes And. It's very Vogue. It is leaning into the interpolation kind of referencing thing quite hard. That's no bad thing. I really enjoyed the song. I'm not crazy about the Mariah version. A few people seem to have really got the ick with Ariana and the whole like SpongeBob debacle. I don't blame you, that's absolutely fine. But here, I'm here to talk about the music. What she talks about in the music might reflect what happened, but we'll see what the actual music's about first. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to check out all my other reactions and make sure to subscribe. I love to dig into the artistry behind the artist. If you are a fan of the channel and you want to support me even further, then you can do over on Patreon, where you can actually watch this video with no edits in any of the songs or anything. Links in the description for that. And if you want to check out all my other content, I also make my own music, and I have a podcast called Criminally Underrated, where we talk about famous artists' most underrated songs with different special guests each week. I've got an episode with Fern Stone out. I've got an episode with Ben Shouts coming next week. My boyfriend features on the podcast. It's really good fun. And there's a link in the description. You can listen to it everywhere. Also, make sure to leave your top 5 of the album in the comment section. I love going through your top 5s and seeing if your faves differ to mine. Okay, right. Let's do this. This is Intro, End of the World. Okay. Alien vibes. Vinyl. Ooh, a kind of vintage vibe.
How can I tell if I'm in the right relationship?
Ooh. You know, I said I wasn't going to get into all the drama.
Wonder if he's judging me like I am right now.
Okay.
Make it worse for you.
I'd rather tell the truth than make it worse for you. Okay, so we're getting real. I like the chord changes. It's got some really nice kind of vintagey, jazzy kind of touches.
Would you be the one on mine?
Cool. Interesting, huh? So there's a sense of like, if the world ended, would I actually be happy with this relationship I'm in? Like, are you the person I want to see the end of the world with? And I think she's already given herself her answer. Very interesting to begin the album with just a thought, and that thought being the end. I think that's quite clever. I feel like it sets up the kind of key question for the album of like, am I actually happy in this relationship? Wow, it's certainly like tackling it head on, isn't she? How can I tell if I'm in the right relationship? Aren't you really supposed to know that shit? I've had this interaction I've been thinking about like for 5 weeks, wondering if he's thinking about it too and smiling, wonder if he knows that's been what's inspiring me, wondering if he's judging me like I am right now. So she is completely directly, first song on the album, addressing exactly what happened. Obviously, she had this fling with somebody, with SpongeBob, and all that time, she was kind of like judging herself for having those feelings when she was already in a relationship with somebody else. Like, she's being very stark with it, and I kind of respect her for that, you know, because people are certainly going to have an opinion one way or the other. I don't care. I'd rather tell the truth than make it worse for you. I mean, we don't know exactly how it went down, do we? We only really get to see what happened in the gossip and the newspapers. If the sun refused to shine, baby, would I still be your lover? If the moon went dark tonight and it all ended tomorrow, would I be the one on your mind, your mind, your mind? If it all ended tomorrow, would you be the one on mine? So there's a sense of like, yeah, like if the world ended, would you be on my mind? Would you be that person for me? Which I think is really a poetic way to talk about like it, like the situation and like whether she wants to be in this relationship anymore. Also, we've got references to the sun shining and the eternal sunshine of the album. It's like maybe looking for eternal sunshine, and that metaphor being someone to see the rest of my days with. Oh, I'm liking this metaphor already. Okay, let's get on to the next song because this is just the intro. We have Bye.
Bye bye.
Presumably saying goodbye to her previous partner.
This ain't the
Love it. I'm really liking the kind of disco house references and the strings, and the chords are so cool and jazzy. Nice. Oh yeah. And you're enjoying the groove of it. It's kind of like a vintage aesthetic, but with a brightness and a modern sensibility to it, like modern R&B sensibility, you know? I'm also really enjoying the kind of modern Ariana vocalizations, like her super complex layering of her vocals. It's such a cool way to use her voice, you know? Whoa. Hello, fun key changes. I'm here for that. Come on. Nice. Yeah. I'm not like completely sold by the melody and the hook. It's good, if not her strongest, you know? But the songcraft and the songwriting and the production, I just think is really top notch, really nicely focused song, nicely composed song that kind of seems to have these kind of disco references, but this kind of more like R&B vocal sensibility. That's kind of the mix for me that I'm finding quite fun. And this kind of vintage vibe, like the vinyl cracking and the jazz kind of reference, you know? I like it. Bye bye. Actually, maybe it is catchy. So bye bye boy bye. This ain't the first time I've been hostage to these tears. Ain't got no tears left to cry. I love that lyric though. I can't believe I'm finally moving through my fears. So this is the moment where she's really saying goodbye, and she's like, I think we gave it all we could, but it just wasn't really working out. And I'm, rather than being held hostage to my tears, like being sad but not doing anything about it because I'm too afraid. I have fear, you know, I have that fear of actually confronting how I truly feel. You know, if you're in a relationship and you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, that can really be something that holds you back from the kind of truth of it, you know? Maybe that's why it did kind of happen in the way it happened, was because she was scared to actually be truthful. But in this moment, she's like, okay, I need to actually just grow up and do the right thing. Oh, no, it's certainly bittersweet. This hook feels too hard to sing, but it's better than repeat. Yeah. There's no point us going round and round in circles. And even though this hook is really difficult to actually sing, I love how she's broken the fourth wall there. It's really cute. She's like, I need to take this step forward and do it, you know? Yeah, there's a lot in that I really like. Okay, next song, Don't Want to Break Up Again.
I fall asleep crying.
Drums,
Big day in the morning, so I take my time to so I really gotta do nothing I don't want.
Yeah. I love the kind of the break energy of it, you know, like sampled kind of 90s reference. It's kind of really sitting itself in that world, you know. I love when she's singing the ooze. That sounds really nice. Ooze.
When you finally did, it was at the wrong time. I really gotta do nothing.
Ooh, nice. I'm liking the smoothness of it. I do feel like there's something missing for me. Wow. Those fucking, I don't think they're technically like full key changes, but those like borrowed chord situation things are really sending me. If you've watched any of my reactions, whenever anyone uses a funky chord, I'm right there. Cool. I'm a slut for harmony, as my boyfriend would say. I just wonder whether there's some kind of maybe hooky pop energy that I'm missing. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose not every song has to be that vibe. Cool. Yeah, I think she's really successfully expressing what she wants to express through the vibe of the song. It feels like she's really kind of got the style of it down to a T, and it's really like effective in that way. It just feels like, for me, maybe it's just what I've come to expect from Ariana, what I love from Ariana, which is the kind of big kind of moments, like the kind of show-stopping kind of moments, you know, which I feel like Yes and has that vibe to it in the kind of central hook that's so far in this album. I kind of not really feeling that vibe. Maybe these songs are supposed to be a bit more downplayed, you know. The production for me is really the thing that's and the composition is really, really elevating it for me at the moment, because there's like, just those drums are so crispy and crunchy and gorgeous, and like I love the kind of like warmth in it, like the true warmth, and it really seems to represent the vibe of all the imagery and the vibe of the name Eternal Sunshine. The warmth in the actual production really reflects that, and that's like kind of the style in that sense is really, really like extremely cohesive, very, very clever. I'm falling asleep crying. You turn up the TV, you don't want to hear me. One more sleepless night, big day in the morning. So I take my time to self-soothe. Yeah, she's like going through a lot, and she's having to kind of sort herself out because she doesn't have anybody else to look after her. But, you know, before she has to get back and go to work, you know, I don't want to fuck with your head. It's breaking my heart to keep breaking yours again. The situationship has to end, but I can't refuse. I don't want to break up again. So maybe this is the new person, because it's the situationship. SpongeBob, I love you so much. I'm sorry. If anybody doesn't get what I'm talking about, the guy that was in this situationship was the guy who played SpongeBob in SpongeBob Musical on the West End, who was also in Wicked. Anyway, I made it so easy, spent so much on therapy, blamed my own codependency. It sounds like you spent money on therapy, because like there's so much therapy language in this. But you didn't even try. When you finally did, it was the wrong time. Won't abandon me again for you. Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. Next song. This is Saturn Returns interlude. Loving the kind of planetary solar system vibes. I'm into it.
The Saturn cycle takes around about 29 years. Cut and smell the coffee.
She's 29 years old. Well, she was.
Over the head, hits you over the head.
She was 93, wasn't she?
Get real about life and sort out who you really are.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is so cool. I love it. Wake up. All right, Kate Bush. Hello. If anyone doesn't get the reference, Waking the Witch by Kate Bush has wake up. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, love that interlude. Presumably like a lecturer in science. There's a sense of like, takes 29 years for Saturn to get around the moon. And then the reference in terms of human life, it's like, okay, when you hit 29, there's a moment where you kind of start thinking, oh, wait, shit, I'm going to be 30. I need to sort my shit out. You know, there's like a thing. And obviously she was 30. I know that she's a year younger than me. So she was 30 in 2022, which was presumably when things were all starting to kind of unravel for her, maybe in terms of her like emotional life, in terms of her like romantic life. I don't know. Like the timing is iffy, right? But like, I love the way that the whole thing seems to be kind of glitching out, and it's like the dream is over. You need to wake up and actually take hold of your own life and actually start moving on. Something I really relate to, and something that I really went through at the same age. You know, I've literally started writing a song recently, spoilers, that is called 29 and kind of talks about the same kind of thing, but from my own kind of like relationship perspective. But yeah, it's certainly a thing, isn't it? And I really enjoy how that's kind of represented in the audio. Cool. Next song, this is Eternal Sunshine, the title track.
I don't care what people say.
Okay, so we're going back to the trappy references.
So much even you start to think it's true. Me out of this loop. Yeah. So now we play
I like all the imagery, like the loop, taking trips around the sun, how many years old you are. There's lots of like levels to this. It's really clever.
Now you got me feeling sorry. Let you play me like a Atari. Eternal sunshine, sunshine. So I'd rather forget the no for sure.
Again, really enjoying the vibe of this one. I think the production and the style is really on point. Like, I'm really enjoying the vibe of it. Like, it's just like, there's some kind of excitement that I'm missing. You know? Does that make sense? How can I feel alright when you're in her? Is that what it is? There's like a anxiety in that song. Yeah. Again, like vibes. I'm getting the vibes. I'm enjoying the vibes. I'm enjoying the style of it, the production, everything. But like, I don't know, there's something that I need more. Do you know what I mean? There's just something like, I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know whether it's a lack of like inspiration, or maybe it's like her collaborators, or maybe it's a lack of collaboration, or I don't know. Because like the style is so 10 out of 10, but for me, like the actual kind of songs themselves don't really stand on their own. Like I feel like if the songs were played at the piano, for instance, they wouldn't have anything special about them. That's the truth for me at the moment. Whereas I do feel like Yes And has that energy, and I feel like Yes And kind of like misrepresents what the album sounds like at the moment. I don't care what people say. We both know I couldn't change you. I guess you could say the same. Can't rearrange the truth. Get me out of this loop. So now we play our separate scenes. Now she's in my bed, laying on your chest. Now I'm in my head, wondering how it ends. I showed you all my demons, all my lies, yet you played me like Atari. Hope you feel all right when you're in her. Wow, I found a good boy and he's on my side. You're just my eternal sunshine. Yeah, I don't know what this is trying to get at, to be completely honest. Like, I like the idea that she's like playing scenes, like now she's like an actress, you know, and it's like she's looking at herself in the mirror and she's seeing the reflection of the new lover in her place and all those kinds of things. Lots of little details that really have depth to them. But I don't think the strength in like vision is there, you know? It kind of needs something stronger to pin down what is this song actually about. Do you know what I mean? But I enjoy how it kind of like washes over you, and it's certainly music for that purpose. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is Supernatural. Fun. Like enjoying the samples in the background.
Just need you right here.
Really nice and warm. Again, like, yeah.
I want you to come claim it.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Nice. I'm enjoying the vibes of this. This is definitely a step up for me. Yeah. I love the like rhythm that's created in the stuttering pad. Dun, dun. That's great. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this vibe, and it feels like it has like a bit more of a dynamic energy to it, you know? Whereas the previous song I just felt like was all kind of like one note, you know? Oh, the chords are so good. I'm obsessed. Nice. This one's definitely is a little bit more single energy. I like that. Yeah, that's probably my favorite so far, I'd say. That one kind of had vibe, but it took it somewhere extra, you know, and that's kind of, I think, what I was missing. I also just love all the kind of vocalizations, and that final kind of like high vocalization that she was doing over the top of the last chorus was great. This love is possessing me, but I don't mind at all. I want you to come claim it, I do. What are you waiting for? I want you to name it, I do. I want you to make it yours. It's like supernatural. This love's possessing me, but I don't mind at all. So maybe it's like a new love that's like inspiring her when the last love felt a bit dead. She's now feeling like she's found something that is like possessing her, like overtaking her, and she's going to let it happen, you know? Need your hands all up on my body like the moon needs the stars. Again, more references, sun and the moon, you know? Nothing else felt this way inside me. Love it. Boy, let's go too far. So it's like the sex of it all, like the passion within the sex, and that kind of like primal kind of feeling like she wants to be claimed, you know? Supernatural, it could be linking to the TV show, like the werewolves and stuff. Like it's very all that vibe, isn't it? Cool. I like that. Next song. This is True Story.
This is a true story about all the lies.
Interesting.
I know you play. Give me love, love, give me love, 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 give me love.
Cool.
Play the villain if you need me to. Know how this goes, yeah.
Love that drum.
Just another time.
That like super offbeat drum pattern is really sending me. It's reminding me of something I've heard before.
All the lies you fantasize.
Oh, I tell you what it is. It's Bills, 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 isn't it? By Destiny's Child.
Give me love, love, give me love, love, give me love, 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 love. If it makes you feel better.
I'll play the bad girl if you need me to. So she's starting to kind of turn around and kind of have a little bit more like anger towards this person. I wonder who it is. It could actually be the media. I feel like it's probably the media.
And I'll be good in it too. This is a truth.
Yeah. There's lots of little references to her playing parts, which is quite interesting. It seems to be really inspired by her time doing Wicked. By the sounds of it, it seems like she's really loved doing Wicked, and it's like been like a really amazing thing for her, you know. It's really inspired her. For reference, if people don't know, she's playing Glinda in the Wicked movie, and they were filming last year. Nice. Yeah, that was cool. Again, really beautiful production, like impeccable style. Again, it's not really inspiring me though. I feel like asking the question, where are the bops? Where are the bops? No bops in sight. Yes, and is like such a bop, you know, it's like the only bop. This is a true story about all the lies you fantasized about you and I. This is a true story about all the games I know you play. I'll play the villain if you need me to. I know how this goes. I'll be the one you pay to play the scene. Yeah, roll the cameras, please. So yeah, it's certainly written in the time that she was working on Wicked, definitely. Turning like a dime, wasting all their time, sneaking like a creep in the night, but I'll play whatever part you need me to. So it's kind of saying that all the gossip and all the stuff that came out in the media, she's like, blah, 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 whatever. I'll play that part if you need me to sell your articles, if you want me to get clicks, I'll be that person for you. You know, I'll play the bad girl if you need me to, if it makes you feel better. I'll be the one you love to hate, can't relate, too much on my plate. There's a real like, I'm too busy for this shit energy. You do whatever you want. Cool. Next song, this is The Boy Is Mine. The Boy Is Mine. Cover? Maybe. Ooh, yeah.
I don't wanna cross no scene. I'm usually cause the boy is mine.
Yeah, so it's referencing the song, isn't it? Cool. Yeah. But a slightly more on the nose interpolation in this one. Although actually I must say, Yes and is already an interpolation. There's definitely like that kind of late 90s reference, and there's like a lot of like 90s R&B, 90s house, 90s hip hop energy to a lot of it, you know. I like that it was slow down there. It's cool. Cool. Nice. I love the tiny little bits of slow down tempo that kind of just give it that little bit more. It's cool. Watch me take my time. That boy is mine. Maybe she's like, I'm going to commit to this new thing, you know? Yeah, interesting. Yes, the boy is mine. I'm kind of like, I don't personally, I'm a little bit over the whole like modern, current obsession with nostalgia and referencing the past and sampling the past and interpolating the past. It's like, I understand that it's like good business, but like artistically, I'm kind of, Beyonce kind of ended it for me in Renaissance. She just showed everybody how it should be done. Anything that's any less than that just feels like a cheap reference. Whereas like Beyonce was doing it like for an artistic purpose, you know? Whereas this feels a little bit more throwaway in terms of the reference. It definitely fits. But if you like, I don't know, it just feels a bit, it can cheapen it, you know? If it's not done that kind of level. You know, that's kind of how I feel about that. How could it be you and me might be meant to be like that? Can't unsee it, but I don't want to cause no scene. I'm usually so unproblematic, so independent. Tell me why. And God knows I'm trying, but there's just no use in denying the boy is mine. So it's like, rather than like in the original, the boy is mine, it's like, I'm claiming ownership over this guy. This is like, no matter how hard I try, the boy is mine, you know, like he's made for me. There's drama. It's like, this isn't what I planned. I'm usually unproblematic, but I don't want to cause a scene. It's like clearly referencing what happened. With Mr. SpongeBob, I promise you, I'm not usually like this shit. Like it's news to me, but I can't ignore my heart. So there's a sense of like, I'm getting pulled towards this. There's a feeling within me that's getting pulled towards this. Kind of has a feeling of like trying to like excuse her actions a little bit. But she's taking accountability and she's saying like, you know, I can't help it, I guess. Yeah. Not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, there we go. Let's go on to Yes and. Let's give this a listen. I've mostly heard it through the radio. I haven't really sat down and listened to it properly. So it'd be cool to actually kind of properly analyse it. So this song does not fit with the rest of the album, does it? It's brilliant, but I wish the whole album had this energy and this sass to it. Strike a pose. I love the kind of empowering thing in this where it's like the sass, the yes and. It's great. Yes and say the shit with your chest. Grand. I really kind of expected with this album to kind of follow within the 90s house kind of vibes of this song. Cute. I never noticed she said, boy, put your lipstick on. That's cute. She's certainly really good at turning the kind of media narrative around to actually favour her, you know, making art out of it.
Your energy is yours and mine is mine. I don't need no disguise. Yours and mine is mine. Right. Why?
Fairs. Yeah, this is like really well, like it's just so hooky, it's so catchy, it's so bouncy, it has so much energy to it. The reference is very strong, but it knows what it's trying to do, it knows what it's trying to be, and it does it really well, in my opinion. Yes, and yeah. Cute. Yeah, that song is just like really good. It's just really strange that the whole rest of the album, like, it's not the same vibe at all. I really like, after that song, I was kind of quite excited to hear what she was going to do in terms of like, maybe it would all be in a similar kind of vein. And yet it seems like vibe-wise, it's like Positions Part 2. It's like such a well-produced, highly stylized album that like nails all that stuff. But like this song has what I feel like is missing from the rest of the album, which is this sense of energy, inspiration. But I'm glad that it's here on this song. In case you haven't noticed, while everybody's tired and hearing from somebody or something we don't see right. So it's about like, don't judge a book for its cover. Boy, come and put your lipstick on. Very cute. Come on, walk this way through the fire. And if you find yourself in a dark situation, just turn on your light and be like, yes, and. It's very queer. I love it. I really like the kind of, she's really leaning into her like the gay fandom and kind of saying to them like, put your lipstick on, get your sass out, and really just don't let the haters get you down. But in like, which is a tale as old as time in terms of pop music, but I love the way that she's putting it. It's so good. Like, yes, and it's so good. Keep moving. Like, what's next? It's just keep moving. I'm over what people are saying about me, and she's encouraging that in her listeners, you know. No, I won't hide underneath your own projections or change my most authentic life. Yeah, so she's just like, I'm just trying to be authentic to myself, and you can come for me all you like, but I'm just going to keep moving. Just I think it's like a good attitude sometimes. Okay, next song. This is We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. Outside the Club.
I didn't think you'd understand
cool.
me.
I love this as a setup. So clever. Like she's singing along to music that's going on like in a stadium or something that she's like halfway across town away from. That's the vibe I'm getting. So cool. What? Is this a different album? Nice. Nice. I'm so obsessed with the like it being set within this area, like in the city, like that kind of text painting is so cool. It's just not text painting, but you know what I mean. Sonic landscaping. I love using that as a term.
I look this good.
Great.
To just pretend.
Pre-eaten.
Wait until you like me again.
Yeah. I like this song. It feels like it has so much more direction to it. And this production feels like a kind of a bit more of a fusion between Yes and the rest of the album, you know?
What you made.
Nice. Love that vocal.
All I need, we can't be friends until you like me again.
Yeah. So she's kind of giving this person permission to move on from her, you know? And she's kind of saying, maybe in the future we'll be able to be friends again, you know? But at the moment we can't, you know? Oh, I love that. I really like that. Love this. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Ah, I love that. That was my favourite song so far. That one really just felt it had the energy, you know? And I loved the production on it. I love where it went to a slightly new place for the album. I kind of feel like I would love to hear that style throughout the rest of the album. As much as the rest of the album has great style, there's just some energy in that really feels new and exciting to me, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. I really, really like that song. And oh my God, like the whole production side of it, of like hearing the cars driving past, you're in the city, you can hear like a concert going on at the stadium, and she's like right in front of you in the middle of the street singing to you as if she's singing along to what's going on in the stadium. And then it brings you right into the stadium and for the chorus, you know? So cool. It feels like you're really in that place and it gives it so much atmosphere. It's really clever and just so... yeah, like it's exciting. This song has the excitement for me, you know? I didn't think you'd understand me. How could you ever try? I don't want to tiptoe, but I don't want to hide. Just want to let this story die and I'll be all right. We can't be friends, but I'd like to just pretend. You cling to your papers and pens. Wait until you like me again. My love, I'll wait for your love. Yeah, I wonder, maybe it's a friend who's like kind of saying, I don't really like you anymore because of what you did. And she's saying, I know, but I think maybe we'll be able to get back to something, even though we can't be friends at the moment, you know. Know that you made me. I don't like how you paint me, yet I'm still here hanging. So for now, it's only me, and maybe that's all I need. So there is a real kind of broad sense of like a friendship that like was amazing for her and built her up, but now this person is not feeling her anymore. And she's like, okay, that's fair. I'm just going to be by myself for a while. Maybe actually that's probably better for me to kind of learn this independence. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I really like what that says about her and what that says about like, she's kind of admitting like her mistakes to her friend and kind of saying, you know, I can wait for you, you know, if you'll wait for me, you know, for the love to come back. Really cool. I really like that. Next song, this is I Wish I Hated You. Nice. Love this sound.
Hung all my clothes in the closet you made.
This has like a daydreamy kind of vibe to it, doesn't it? Like a lullaby.
Rearrange my memories, no matter how to.
Yeah.
How easy things could be. I wish I hated you.
I wish I hated you. It would be easier if I did, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I hated you. Place so close, but so far.
I like these little bits. It does feel like a kind of whispered, very intimate kind of thing. And it's a very vulnerable thing to kind of say, I wish that I hated you, you know?
No matter how easy things could be, I wish I hated you.
Yeah. I love how her voice sounds there. It almost like cuts out.
Yeah, I wish I hated you.
Gorgeous. Really nice. Yeah, there's so much about that is really gorgeous. I love the intimacy in that. I love the vulnerability in that. I love the way she sings it. Like it really brings that emotion into it and really kind of after all the kind of like, yes, and I'm going to be sassy and just walk on by. This is like a bit more of a vulnerable moment, which I really, really like. Hung all my clothes in the closet you made, your shoes still in boxes, I send them your way, hoping life brings you no new pain. I rearrange my memories to rewrite our love. So it's really saying goodbye to her ex, like sending his things onto him, you know. No matter how hard I try to, no matter how I want to, no matter how easy things could be if I did, no matter how guilty I still feel saying it, I wish I hated you. I wish that weren't true. I love that idea. I wish I hated you, but I wish that wasn't true. Like, I wish that I didn't wish I hated you. You know, I wish that everything was just nice and civil and okay. But actually, like, she's kind of always saying, like, I wish that you hated me. You know, I wish you kind of were to turn that on me more, almost like she feels like she deserves it, you know? And I learned to keep me in one place. Gorgeous. So there's a real sense of like self-discovery and self-development through the breaking down of this relationship. But it would be so easy for her to be like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, you always treated me badly. She's like, I don't. And that's the hard thing, is that I think she knows that she didn't maybe handle it particularly well, and realizing that and kind of realizing that this person is actually a really good person must be a really hard thing to go through. Yeah, you can tell that she feels bad about it, I think, in this song. Anyway, next song. This is Imperfect For You. Interesting.
My boy, come take my hand, in the backseat. They don't understand.
Chords, 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 chords. Oh.
We crashed and we burned. Now I just can't.
Really nice. Oh, this is nicely written, huh?
Fucked up, anxious, imperfect, messy.
I love how she's leaning into the strange chords in this. Cool.
A few seconds left till tomorrow. Get your wine at the table.
Leave our baggage at the table.
Be disaster. Usually I'm fucked up, anxious.
Yeah. There's a kind of sense that, like, although their relationship kind of crashed and burned and was like this kind of crazy shit, there's something to be gleaned from it that's good for both of them.
I know we'll be there for each other. Feeling fucked up.
Yeah, when we're both feeling this way, we'll be able to be there for one another. I like that. Yeah, it feels like she's trying to glean some sort of like positive self-growth thing from this whole experience, you know? And I like this idea that they're imperfect for one another, you know? Yeah, I liked that. That was like, the chords, really gorge, especially the verses. I just thought that was really beautifully smooth. The chorus, I'm not completely sold by the chromatic hook. I'm like, but then actually the idea of it being slightly imperfect with that kind of chromatic moment right there actually is very, very apt and very poetic. Feels like she's really like thought through this album on so many different levels that I really appreciate, like all the references to the sun and the planets and the moving and the time around the sun and the sunshine and all that kind of stuff. Very clever, really well thought out, really kind of like also selling this idea that she's reached this point in her life where she's like, I need to make some big changes, you know? And even the style, as much as like the first half of the album, I wasn't crazy about a lot of the songs, I do feel like the style of it really plays into that warmth, you know? Yeah. Imperfect for you. My boy came to take my hand, throw your guitar and clothes in the back seat. My love, they don't understand, but I'll hold your hurt in the box here inside me. How could we know we'd rearrange all the cosmos? Yeah, there you go. Another reference to the sun and the stars and the planets. It's just, yeah, it's very well thought out. Now I just can't go where you don't go. And usually I'm fucked up anxious too much, but I love you like you need me to. Imperfect for you. So it's like a love song, but like for two slightly broken people, you know, who are going to be imperfect for one another. And that's okay. You know, I'm never going to be perfect for you, but maybe it's okay being imperfect for you because we can support each other through that, you know? And then, yes, I love the second verse where it's like, I'll never forget when you told me, you said, usually I'm fucked up anxious. So then she reframes the chorus, and the final chorus, she says, I know we'll be there for each other when we're feeling fucked up anxious too much. So it's like her chorus, his chorus, and then them together. And I really, really love that as a song structure. Really detailed, very nicely written, really well thought out. Before we go into the final song, this is a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much. All the names are coming up on screen now. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do the links in the description. These guys get access to all sorts of bonus content, including unedited episodes. So you get like no cuts to any of the songs or anything. You can do song requests, album requests, all that sort of thing on there. And they get access to the extended version and video version of my podcast as well. So it's kind of like the hub for all my kind of extra content. And if you like me and you like what I'm chatting about, then it's a great place to support me. And get lots of nice stuff and be part of the community. So thank you to all the guys for supporting me who are coming up on the screen. I won't be able to do this without you. I have to work full time in a cafe and I only work part time in a cafe. So yeah, great. Thanks. Anyway, let's go on to the final song. This is Ordinary Things feat. Nonna. The only collaboration. Is this like a family member? Does Nonna mean like Nan or something?
We could go pop all the champagne in
Fun.
have omakase in Tokyo if you wanna.
So she's like, we could be doing all the rich person shit, but
More time.
I don't want anything but more time. Isn't that real?
Things to you. It's
Nice.
as long as I'm with you.
Nice, yeah.
You hit just like the first sip of wine after a long day. I'm stuck running real late.
Nice.
What we do, there's never gonna be an ordinary thing.
I love the playing with the idea of like, I like doing ordinary things, but what we have together is no ordinary thing. Really clever wordplay.
And when he'd come home,
There you go, yeah.
God Almighty arrived. It was like half packed up and left a million times. Never,
She's got such that accent, isn't she?
never go to bed without kissing goodnight.
Yeah.
And if you can't, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you're in the wrong place. Get out.
There you go. Yeah, ending on that advice. Oh, right onto 16 Carriages. I could listen to that 12 times in a row. Yeah, like some advice from her grandmother, apparently, that seems to have really, by the sounds of it, seems to have spurred on the motions of that album. You know, you should always kiss them goodnight. And if you feel like you don't want to do that, then you're in the wrong relationship. You need to move on, you know? Yeah, and I guess that's the place she got herself to. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Let's look at the lyrics before I move on to my overall thoughts. Oh yeah, it says here, feat. Marjorie Grande. There you go. We could pop all the champagne in California. We could have omakase in Tokyo if you wanna. Hypothetically, we could do anything that we'd like. We'd hit up all the slopes in matching snowsuits, cute. We could hang out at the Louvre all night if you want to. We could spend every dime, but I don't want anything but more time. It's a bit of a flex, but I like that she's saying, like, you know, we could do all these things, but I don't want to, you know. No matter what we do, there's never going to be an ordinary thing. No ordinary things with you. It's funny, but it's true. There's never going to be an ordinary thing as long as I'm with you. So it's like, I want to kind of do the ordinary things, but I don't want to do all the crazy shit. I just want to spend more time with you. And although that could be considered ordinary, it's not ordinary because it's with you. You know, when he first gets off that train, it's like God Almighty arrived. I was seeing daylight. I mean, I could have packed up and left a million times, you know. It's not that we never fought. You can overcome that, you know. And as I told her, never go to bed without kissing goodnight. That's the worst thing to do. And if you can't and you don't feel comfortable doing it, you're in the wrong place. Yeah, so some sage advice from her nan that really seems to have kind of meant something to her and actually been a bit of a guiding light. She made this decision, but actually, like, she can kind of come to terms with it because of the advice that her nan gave her. And she's like, actually, as much as it all kind of blew up and I hurt this person, I had to do it. It's better for both of us in the long run. Yeah, I think there's so much about this album that I think is so genuinely well done. The production is slick, super stylish, really nicely put together. The lyrics and the kind of framing of the metaphors and stuff work really well. Like, I love this idea of the sunshine, the movement around the planet, the fact that our lives won't live forever, wanting to find eternal sunshine, wanting to find love that lasts a long time, but it not, like, it inevitably keep kind of breaking up. All those kinds of things. There's lots of references to that theme throughout, really clever, nicely put together. But for a large part of the album, I kind of was a bit bored. if I'm gonna be honest, like I appreciate so much of that detail and some of the songs I loved, but like I just felt like there was a lack of inspiration. Specifically Eternal Sunshine, I think for me, just lost the plot for me. Even though all those details and clever stuff is in there, it felt like the strength of the actual song itself was not there. And I think that's kind of the thing when you're putting together a big project like this. It's all right having all the details and stuff, but if you don't have that strong creative inspiration moments of this is a good song, you know, then it kind of doesn't matter how much of the other stuff kind of pulls it together. So that's kind of where I'm at this moment. Maybe it'll grow on me. That's kind of the thing about doing reactions, is that like you kind of have to leave space for music to grow on you. But that there were some moments that I loved. I mean, particularly Yes and is a fucking bop. Like it is so good. But I'm missing the rest of the bops. Where are the rest of the bops? You know, I feel like it needs some more kind of North Star kind of moments to pull the whole album together. I'm going to say that my favorite song on the album was We Can't Be Friends, because I really thought that was super, super clever. I really loved the production on it. And I thought that the song kind of came together in a really nice way. Let me know what you think, and make sure to let me know your top 5s in the comments. That's something that everybody loves to do on the channel. If you want to check out my reaction to Beyonce's brand new songs, it is here. If you want to check out my reaction to Troye Sivan's latest album, it's here.